Yeah.
All right. This is. I could have kept that up a little bit because I was digging that, but let me fade it in. Yeah. So this is the Always Into Something podcast. I am MMB along with Ahmad. Are you on here?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey man, wait, hey, this is our show, man. This is hey, you on here? This is us together.
Yes,
So,
sir, man. It's about time.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, this is a little backstory. I've known Ahmad. We known each other since third grade. So
Yes, sir.
it's
Telling
and
our age now, man. Hold on. We ain't that old.
I didn't want to say nothing, but I mean, I'm still in my 30s, but you
Oh,
know.
Lord. Here we go with this. Technicality. It's like 39 and a half.
So I'm doing my thing. I'm doing my thing from live from Henderson in the Leo Pope Studios, gorgeous Henderson, Nevada, not Las Vegas. You know,
Okay.
I call that not Henderson. That's what that is to me. If you heard
Anderson.
me from my other podcasts or anything like that, all the bacon and eggs. Shout out to J Gag doing this thing. But yeah, man, it's been a long time since we've talked, and it's been a minute that we've been talking about doing something like this because I know that you have been
Yep.
doing, trying to get in doing your comedy, doing a little acting, doing little things here and there, and I've been doing my
Yes, sir.
my YouTube stuff, my music. Production company, so just trying to get that stuff going. So we just wanted to come up here and just shoot the shit, man. This is be real, just real dudes, just getting into stuff, and just
Oh,
being
yeah.
our real opinions and talking straight from the top. You might learn something, you might not, but hopefully you enjoy it.
Hmm.
So
They will.
yeah. So definitely, I mean, us two together, and plus me, I got a little drink, so it's gonna be a little live in a minute. You can hear that. You can hear the
Okay.
it's on the rocks. You know what I mean?
I got me a little something. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You ain't going down alone.
Yeah. I didn't expect to.
Ah.
I didn't expect to. I'm over here looking like Uncle Phil because of the quarantine.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Will. That's,
Yo, man, I'm over here looking like Frederick Douglass, man. I'm over here looking like I just tried to come up with a plan to take down white supremacists. I'm stressed the hell out.
Man, I mean, when it started, I was like, all right, it'll be a couple weeks, it'll be a few days, and I was like, this is cool. I can just chill. I just wanted to just have a break. I needed it. I was at a time in my life I was like, cool, this is cool. But now going into like the fourth week, or was it the fourth week for me? Yeah, it's like, damn, when is this going to end?
Right. It just seemed like every time we think we get into the end, it's just like another curveball. We just got to ride it out, make the best of it. Hopefully, when we look back, we can say we did something good with our time.
Yeah, definitely. And that's that. I mean, like, how did you spend the first couple weeks?
First couple of weeks, I spent scratching the back of my head, wondering like, is this like gonna be really temporary, or like how long is this gonna last? Because I thought initially, I thought it was gonna be like, like a 2 or 3 day thing. I didn't think it was gonna spill over into something that was gonna be like a month, 2 months. Now I'm like, what the hell is this about to be life?
Yeah,
So
man.
and then I see a lot of other places like coming up with their plan, and I'm like, damn, I live in the most ass backward country in the world.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are we doing?
I mean, I try not to get too political off the jump, but I mean, yeah, this the way it's being ran has been ran. It's not the best. We've been playing catch up to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Instead of being ahead of the game, we're behind, and we're still trying to struggle to figure out the best way to do it. And I don't know. It's it's crazy. We got we got somebody in the chat
Yeah,
sending pictures.
looking like Mr. Glass up there. Not, Mr. Glass.
Oh man, but yeah, so it's crazy, man. I was sitting in the bar that I like to frequent, and I was when everything was kind of going down, and I was like, all right, the NBA, they got the NBA is going on, and Rudy Gobert ended up having the corona, the COVID-19.
Yeah, man.
And
When I seen the NBA shut down,
yeah,
I was like, oh my God. You know how much I'm just thinking like dollar amount wise, like, whoa, like this is serious.
and
The
so
NBA?
and
Hey,
yeah,
never happened in my lifetime.
in my life, and they suspended all operations. Done deal. Didn't even finish the doubleheader. And I was like, I'm gonna watch that last game. And they were like, nope, cancel. And so the next couple days, I'm here, and I work in Not Henderson, and then they're talking about, oh, one of the casinos shut down, and I'm like, one of the casinos shut down, and
All
I'm
right.
like, wait a minute, one of the casinos shut down. That's a lot of money, and
And we had just came off the whole Kobe Bryant thing. You know what I mean? They had altered the NBA a little bit for that.
Oh man,
You
I
know,
didn't even
we
think
was
about
still
that.
like, we was still wiping our tracks out tears from that. And
Oh
then it was
man,
like before we fully healed, because remember they had the memorial for him like late February.
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? When they had shut down the Staples Center and Michael Jordan got up there crying. Um,
Again, yeah,
and then like we had just we had just recovered from that. We were trying to recover from that.
yeah.
And then this happened. It was like 2020 just wouldn't let up.
It's not, man. It's not. I was like, okay, 19. Well, 19, I kind of took an L. I'll deal with that, but I'm keep people pushing. And I was like, I'll see what 2020 got, and it's like, damn, man.
No, the beginning of
Ooh.
the years is always mentally, at least in your mind, you think you associate the beginning of the year with a restart and progress and kind of like humble beginnings or whatever. You think that at least if no one else go good in the year, the beginning is going to be the best part.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know,
definitely. And
it's like gearing up for a long road trip, and then you get in the car, and your first turn, you can act like you're not even off the block. You're like, whoa, we ain't going nowhere.
this is over. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's been crazy. So I have been like my first couple weeks. I did a lot of sleeping. I'm not gonna lie. I was in the
Hey, me
bed.
too.
I was in the bed for probably about 16 hours of the day. I worked on some music the next couple of days after that, and then was just chilling, just like, okay, what do I do? What do I do next? So of course,
Right.
inevitably, you go to I mean, a lot of people have it nowadays. Not everybody, but if they got somebody's password, they jump on a streaming service. They jump on Netflix. They jump on Disney or whatever. And I happen to jump on one.
Or they could actually have a paid subscription. Everybody doesn't need someone else's password, but
No, yeah,
whatever works for you.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Either you got it or you got somebody's password. Did you use it?
Right.
So,
I don't know anything about that.
we don't know. We don't condone doing that. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it real. Motherfuckers be out there doing that. You're like, oh, I'm using like who's that on your Netflix? Oh,
right.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. But yeah, so I happened to stumble upon this show called The Tiger King.
Oh my God!
And I didn't know
Good
what it
Lord
was.
have mercy.
What it was. Only the thing that I saw, because I watched John Oliver on HBO, and during the election, they featured the dude named Joe Exotic. And he
Right.
did his campaign commercial, and John Oliver just had a field day because it's this redneck dude with some tight ass jeans on, a mullet, a gun on his hip, and a knee brace. Outside the jeans, talking about that he is broke as shit, he's gay, and he's not cut. He's not gonna wear a suit. So
that guy, a rebel without a cause. Good Lord have mercy. I've seen that dude, man. It just took me all the way back to the 80s. And then he had the knee brace on, the mullet, the gold, his chest all out. I'm like, he damn sure exotic. I can tell you that.
Oh
I was
man,
just like, where did they get this dude? They went to the backwater of some country, but country. I, he not even from the country. I don't know where they find this guy.
it was in the park that he had was in Oklahoma, I think, right?
He
And
looked like a shady mechanic. That's what he looked like.
yeah, he did.
You go in there for an oil change and he tell you your whole car about to break down. You're like, what? New transmission, your carburetor shot. Like, wait a minute, hold on, bro. I came in for a $30 oil change.
Oh yeah, it was a trip. Like it was one of those shows. I was like, okay, let me check out this first episode and let me see what they're talking about. I mean, full disclosure, I do enjoy big cats. I do. I've always wanted a liger.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's a hell of a cat.
you know, I've always wanted one ever since I saw. As a matter of fact, I saw one of the dudes that was in the Tiger King documentary on. I think it was Jay Leno. He brought one of his ligers out, and it was a big ass cat. And I was like, man, that was cool. And it was before Napoleon Dynamite, so don't start with that bullshit.
I was about to ask. That was my next question.
It was before all of that, whatever. So, but I was like, man, that is a really cool cat. I was like, it's nothing. This would be nothing cooler than you walking around in your neighborhood with a liger on a leash. Like, what's up?
With a dinosaur lion.
And it's like, what is up? What your pit bull got? Nothing.
Oh my God, pit bull ain't come outside. Yeah, man. I remember the first time I seen that, and I think it was like you mentioned Jay Leno or something. I think it was on a talk show or something. The first time I heard about it,
Yeah,
or maybe it was like one of those Stanford and Roy things I used to watch,
mm-hmm.
and they were talking about the crossbreeding, and then they were talking about how big it was. And then when I actually got to see one online, I was like, "Whoa, that thing like a dinosaur!"
Yeah, and
Like
a saber tooth.
I don't even know if it's mellow or if it's an aggressive species. But yeah, that it's a fascinating creature for sure.
It's fascinating, and it is pretty much it is mellow, but I mean it's a big ass cat. I mean, you know how cats, you could be in your house for 10 years and they'll still scratch the shit out of you if you do something wrong.
Right.
So imagine that 1,000 times fold. You're like, oh, you know what I mean, and your whole face is off.
Yeah.
So exactly. So I'm thinking like, okay, let me see what this is talking about, and I'm like, all right, big cats, Joe Exotic, this dude is a character. Let me see what they're talking about. At least I'll get to see some cool cats, and I was like, okay, all right, like damn. And then the next episode, I'm like, what is this? What? Yeah. And then the next episode, and they're like, what? Damn.
The first time I heard about it, I wasn't even gonna watch it because I'm thinking it's like because I had just came off of watching another documentary about finding some guy who was killing cats online. I forget the name of it, but it was on Netflix. And after watching that, I had enough about cats. So when I heard about it, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. It was another documentary on Netflix about somebody that was online killing cats. And it was
don't fuck with cats.
Yes, don't fuck with cats.
Yeah,
and I had watched that. And I was like, whoa, like these people dedicated their lives to finding about who was killing these cats. And after I watched that, I had enough about cats. So when I seen, this title, Tiger King, I'm thinking it's about, some rose garden tiger, trainer, like showing the love of cats. I didn't think it was going to be this. This was amazingly crazy.
Oh,
This was just a shit show. Like it was just.
I mean, right from off the bat, and Luca Magnotta from Don't Fuck with Cats. That was. I mean, that's a whole nother episode that we could get into as well. Like we could talk about that because that was crazy too. But the Tiger King, you're right because I just finished watching. I did watch Don't Fuck with Cats before, and I was like, do I want to watch something else about cats? I don't, whatever. So I've just finished watching the series. I can't remember what it was. And I'm like, you know what? Let me sit out here, smoke my cigar, and see what this is about. And I was like, oh, man, this is crazy. And I watched every episode in one sitting.
One day?
One day. I'm talking about I think I was 8 o'clock at night until about 7 in the morning. I'm just like, what is going on?
Hooked.
Oh, man. Like I couldn't
I think
stop
it
it,
took me about 2 or 3 days.
dude.
I think
I could not stop it.
yeah, yeah, it was fascinating. I mean, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, it kind of remind me of like Louisiana, where they had an alligator park, and the tourists they come and they see the alligators. So I thought it was like that, but then I started seeing the backside of it, because in the beginning they show you like, okay, the view and the imagery from a tourist standpoint, and then they get into the employee factor, and then they get into the business side, and that's where things get interesting. That's where things changes
Okay, now
up.
let's go back. So you get you come out. Joe Exotic comes out with the cute kittens and all that stuff, and they interview I think he was a gentleman and his family. He's like, oh yeah, the price of admission. I'll pay this all the time, and it was like $600, and I was like,
They
what?
lost their mind. They done lost their mind.
Six
Don't nobody
hundred
want to see them
bucks?
Tigers that bad.
Like, are you serious? Like, damn.
Yeah,
And
that's when you should have known that they didn't have all their marbles.
I'm like, this is a lucrative ass business, but if you got 280 something cats, I mean,
Right.
I know he was cutting corners by feeding them food
Yeah.
from Walmart, like the old
Probably.
expired shit from Walmart.
Probably. And
And
and and he's probably also cutting corners by not like really like taking care of whatever medical problems them cats probably be had. If one of them cats probably had a medical issue or needed some kind of medical attention, I'm sure he was cutting corners on that because he could barely afford to feed them.
yeah, exactly. And when you, once and the business and what it come to find out, the business is the kittens because you can only get so close to a large full grown tiger.
That's been caged all damn life, all his life.
You can only get so close to it. Like the kittens, they can jump on you, they can play.
Right.
You can play around with it and carry it.
Right.
But you just walk into a cage with a full grown tiger, you look like dinner to them.
Yeah. You
You know,
asking for it. Even if they known you from birth, they still got a lot of pent up frustration from being inside that cage. That's not their natural habitat.
and
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 you coming in there with a big ass mullet that look like a little lion mane. You about to get ate up. And you got a knee brace on, so you look real delicious because you wounded.
you over there limping, yeah.
You're like, oh, okay, what do we have? Here must be Christmas.
Oh man, and then it had the all of it, like breaking it down. If so, you go into it. The guy, like you said, they go into all of the showing of the customers and what they want you to see, and then they kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, and you see the inner workings of the park, and it's a whole like circus sideshow of employees that he has. Good people, but they are just different. You know what I mean?
Hella different.
Di-
Hella different. Everybody got seem like everybody got a different type of motive. But then you got some people that are mixed in that are genuinely have love for the cats and the
yes.
business.
Yeah, yeah, and it's it's a nice animal that's looking for you to take care of it, and I mean they are really cool animals, but and then you had that one girl, I think she wants to be, I think she might be transgender, I don't know because I heard her saying that it
Oh
was a
yeah,
him.
the
Now,
little I think she was Filipino or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, got her arm ate off by
Got
one
her
of the
arm
cat.
ate off, and she had been working there for like 4 years, but before that happened, and it was just like another routine day, and she was feeding the cats, but she was distracted at the time, and she wound up losing her arm, and that could happen anywhere. A lot of these places people work are dangerous. They got these protocols you're supposed to follow, and the longer you work there, the more corners you bend, the more complacent you get, and then what happens is something like that. Get your arm tore off, but guess what? She a trooper. She was back to work like a week or two later.
Yeah, exactly. But she had the opportunity to save her arm, and
She did, yeah.
she was like, nah, just cut it off. I'll get back to work.
Yeah, she did. But if she would have kept her arm, it would have been a lot of therapy, a lot of going to the doctors, a lot of medication. She didn't want to deal with all of that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and you think about that. Okay, I mean, we've been blessed to have all of our limbs and everything attached. If something happens and you're like, okay, it's an opportunity to save it, or you you kind of just cut it off and just be done with it. Like that's a tough decision.
That is, man. That is. I mean, And I've known people like that in my travels to have to make a split decision like that. And most of the time, from what I've seen, is people just say get rid of it. But man, that got to be tough. That got to be. I mean, this is something you had since birth. I mean, it has to be mentally, tough. But I think it's a good. I think what's good about it is she's able to go back to work and not just sit around all day and sulk and stress out about it.
Yeah.
She's able to like move on with your life, because usually after a procedure like that, they tell you to go home and don't do anything. But that's really bad advice, because now you're sitting here and you have an idle mind.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you have this new life, and that's like almost the beginning of the end. You get real stressed out. You might even start a bad habit.
Yeah.
And we do know that some people that worked at that park had them bad habits.
Oh
They
yeah.
caught up with them.
Oh yeah.
Caught up with them.
Oh yes.
What was it? We found out some things about Mr. Joe Exotic and some of his affiliates
Oh,
and
you mean his husbands?
his husbands with the S. His husbands.
And that wasn't even the weirdest thing though. That wasn't.
And then, hey, dude, he was married to two dudes that wasn't gay. I was like, what the fuck? He was married to two straight dudes.
Man, it's just
and they
like,
was like, I'm not even gay.
it's just like, dude. I had a buddy of mine. We were talking about it. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, can you imagine like, oh, like, hey, Marlon, I'm about to go down to the GW zoo, man, and see these cats. And I'm like, hey, dude, where you at? Oh, I'm still down here, man. I'm getting married. Oh, what's their name? Joe. What the hell was going on? Like, how do you like? He was like
the Tiger King.
He
with
was
the
just like
mullet.
how is this dude so persuasive that he's just like, yeah, okay, you young, and he gets you hooked on those drugs. And
I would imagine that a man like that in an area like that is fascinating, because let's be honest, it's not, you don't find those on every corner. This guy's running the whole spot, so now he has a little bit of power. He has the power to employ people. So anytime you have the power to employ people, especially in a fascinating environment, you're gonna attract. You might attract men, you might attract women, but you're gonna attract, because now you have the power to put money in people's pocket, give people a purpose. So, there's a lot of people that wake up every day that have no idea how they're going to spend their day. So now you have the power to give people a purpose. You have power to put money in people's pocket
Yeah.
and teach them a lifestyle that they never known. So that alone is attractive to some people.
Yeah, and like that one kid, the one that well, okay, I don't want to go too far ahead, but so because you see his first husband, and and throughout the whole series, this dude is shirtless and he has one tooth in his mouth.
Young dude. No, he had like 7 teeth and 6 of them was in his pocket. Yeah, I remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And I mean, they out there living life. They out there on 4-wheelers, shooting guns. They got big ass cats. They got drugs. They over there just,
right.
You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, whatever. They blowing shit up. It's
they got everything but women.
Yeah, exactly. They got a TV show. They got they doing.
They got a YouTube special, a YouTube channel.
All kind of cool stuff.
And they even got haters.
Okay. Now that was the thing. So that lady, that was the most disgusting thing about the series, was like Joe was whatever, but her and her husband looking like Mr. Turtle, and
oh my God,
I could not. Every time they came on, I was just like, I just wanted to turn it off. But then you find out what happened with her husband, and it was just like
plot twist.
Oh shit! Like this bitch
Right.
killed her husband and fed him to them damn tigers. And
everybody's convinced. Everybody's convinced. They can't find no evidence.
Nothing.
Them tigers probably use that dude for a toothpick.
Nothing. And to find out where,
he had money. She had all the motive.
And he had money. And
he was talking about divorcing her.
Yes.
Yeah. All the motive.
So I was.
And she didn't have no money.
She was broke. She was a runaway. I think she just left her first husband or something, or whatever. Was walking down the street when he met her. But
they painted a picture as like she was controlling, and that he couldn't get along with her.
Yeah.
And she was very, 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 very. She just basically was a control freak, and She was trying to run the guy, and,
She's
and,
very
and
domineering.
she was trying to use his money for personal use and for on the things she wanted to use it for.
And she how she fits into this whole thing is like when you talk about his enemies, Joe's enemies, because she has a big cat conservatory, and I did not see the difference between her facility and Joe's facility.
I didn't either, and I didn't either in the beginning. But because on one hand she's saying what Joe's doing is wrong because he has these cats in a cage, and she's saying that he's not properly caring for them, and she's basically saying the cat like basically in a nutshell the cats don't belong in cages, but she's doing the same thing.
She has cats in cages, and she has volunteers, not paid
Right.
employees. Joe
Right. So
pays for his
basically,
employees.
it all boils down to the fact that he's her competition. That's what it really boils down to.
Pretty much. It was Joe Exotic, and then they had Doc Antle, who was another dude. Doc Antle was the guy that I saw on Jay Leno with the Liger, and his life is crazy as hell too. It's like
Right.
a former magician, and now he has a harem of girls, and he just be doing this thing. Like, what is going on? Like, how do you?
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the guy with all the wives?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that dude. That dude was a slickster, man. A slickster. That guy, he had like 7 wives, and they was all like in their 20s.
Yeah,
and this dude was like 50-year-old. He's like a 50-year-old country ass Santa, belly all out.
Yeah,
like,
he went on to the show, and he tried to dispute the claims. He was saying that he went on to the Dan Levitar show, and he was like, look. They were doing a series. The people that did the Tiger King were doing a series with me before, and what they did was when all this stuff happened with Carol Baskins and Joe, they just kind of rolled in my footage with their stuff. It wasn't really a part of it, but he said they made me seem like that, but that's not the case. He was like, I date 40-something-year-old woman. He was like, yeah, I was married and I'm divorced now, so I'm going after women, but I don't have any wives. I just have, girls, but they're not young. He's like, the girls you saw, like my daughter, my granddaughter, they're not my wives. But the couple of them, they were. I'm like, come on, dog, you lying because
right.
the one that
because he was giving them different titles,
giving them different names and stuff. Like, oh, okay, oh, for real, yeah, you over there. Oh, this is her house right here.
But do you remember that one girl who had already quit?
Yeah.
And she was talking about all the years she worked there and how it was.
And he said that she was the babysitter and she had no idea what she was talking about. I was like, all right, whatever.
That girl was there. How many years was she there? She was there a long time.
She was there for a long time.
12 years.
She was there for a long. No, not that long because she was still relatively young. She got caught up in that system and was just like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go, help these cats, and then ended up wearing belly shirts and bikinis and shit, and
had to dress sexy.
Yeah,
even though the average guest and the tourist was obviously a family setting.
Yeah, oh yeah, sex everywhere.
But she started real young, and at one point she did tell her father that she was thinking about marrying this guy. This guy was pimping. All right,
he was doing. Doc Antle was doing this thing. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, he's a good dude now. No, he was doing something. Doing that sleight of hand shit from his magician days.
Exactly. He was a fast talker. Who knows? I don't even know why Carol Baskin wasn't on him, and she decided to focus her attention on Joe.
Oh, she was. She was.
She was.
She has a site that has his name, Doc Antle, and he's like Public Enemy #1 and all that stuff. She bought the name for the website.
Oh, okay.
So Carol Baskins and they have money, and her husband is a lawyer, so they will fight, and just like they did to Joe, because Joe was being real brazen on his show, talking about he wanted to kill Carol Baskin, and
he wanted to cut her head off. He wanted to do all, but see, he not reacting like Joe. Joe was like outspoken.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was doing Joe was doing way too much.
Off.
But also, Carol Baskins went after Joe. But I think when if you're going to be, I don't, it's like one of those things. Okay, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Was it the fact that Joe had the cats, or was it the fact that Joe kept going on his TV show talking about he wanted to kill her and
Yeah, it
how
was a
much of a
mixture.
scumbag? You know what I mean?
It was a mixture, and that's why Joe he enticed her. So now she's like, I'm gonna do this right. You're gonna be you're gonna be apeshit, exotic, crazy with it. I'm gonna do it, by the rules of etiquette. And Joe just on there like with mannequins, like this is Carol Basker's head with an AK-47. You know what I'm saying? Like blowing the shit up
Yeah,
and basically telling people he wanted her dead, and she was trying to come after his ranch, and she was trying to take all of his power away and put him out of business. So, quite naturally, as a business owner, if somebody else, basically threatening to put you out of business, it's personal. You know what I mean? You're pissed off, but you don't always got to handle it like he handled it.
no,
You know,
he handled he went way too far, and
he
it
went way
cost
too
him.
far with it.
And it cost him. He ended up losing his family, his mom. They lost all their money because he was,
He wind up, yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean, and he
He
had
had
to
to, he had to take the park out of his name.
and put it in some scumbag's name that was doing
Mm-mm-mm.
some shady shit. Jeff Lowe
Oh my God,
and his
that was
wife.
the beginning of the end for him.
Oh my God, that whole thing where Jeff Lowe comes out there, and they're thinking that he's having all this money and he doesn't have anything.
So
Um,
originally, Jeff Lowe was a guy in Vegas, right?
he yes, he was in Vegas.
Right, because I remember originally they had to they went to Vegas for something, and that's how he met him. They went
Yes.
to Vegas for something. They were taking the cats to Vegas on party bus and getting doing something, and that's how he met Jeff.
No, he had did Jeff Lowe had he did something before that because they remember they had that little split and then they went back to Vegas and then they had to come back. So, but when they went back because he had signed over his ranch and everything to Jeff Lowe, and then he left because they weren't getting Joe and Jeff weren't getting along, and Joe got into trouble again in Vegas and had to come back and decided to come back to Oklahoma and work on that ranch, and then that's when all that stuff with the investigation happened
Yeah, because I
about.
think Carol Baskin was the one sending the auditors out there
Yeah,
to audit
exactly.
him to make sure he was having up and up business practices, and he was trying to
Yeah.
hide this and hide that,
Oh yeah.
and then
Oh
he
yeah.
he got into a situation where he needed some money.
Yeah, so then he had because he was they were doing a reality show, and that's what I thought this was when
Right.
I clicked on it. I was like, oh, it's going to be a reality show, and that's how it started off. And I was like, okay, this is what is this little crazy redneck dude doing? What he going to be doing? And then it was so much more than that. And then the guy that was doing the show ended up losing everything because of that fire that I'm pretty sure Joe or um, I think Joe set that on fire, that studio on fire, with all that equipment in there.
Well, hold on now. What about because Joe was blaming the other guy, but you know what? Joe probably did set it on fire because it would have been hiding a lot of evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joe had to set it on fire because I think the auditors or something was coming, and it was people that didn't have his back. It was people that started out. What was the guy's name? That was his campaign manager
Uh,
when he decided to run for. I think he was running for mayor.
I forgot the guy's name, but he also that guy he came into the story later,
That
and that
guy
was
was funny as hell.
he oh man, and like to see the footage because when Travis, one of Joe's husbands, was sitting there playing with the damn gun, and all of a sudden you see the dude like, oh my god, because Travis
Yeah,
just shot himself in the head on
yeah.
accident. Um,
And he witnessed it. He was sitting right
he
there.
was sitting right there and just looked at him, and it was over, like done deal. And Travis was like 20, 23 years old. Um,
Yeah, that had to be traumatizing.
oh man, like it was just so many twists and turns
Yeah,
in
in
this
that series,
series,
yeah,
and it's the talk of the freaking the world now. Like at least
right,
in media, like I mean I've seen David Spade has a show, and he's been interviewing everybody from the show. Uh, like I said, Dan Levitard is like, I'm doubling
right.
down on Tiger King. I want everybody that we could talk to from this show. I want to talk to him. I want to talk to him because it's sensationalized something. I mean, in the big scheme of things, like really, what is it? It's a dude that was an eccentric character that did something that a lot of people didn't do, and you know that.
He was power happy. I mean, I think he let his ego get the best of him,
Yeah, and he was paying people to
and
sing songs, and he was, you
yeah,
know, because that definitely was not
yeah.
him singing. Oh my
I think he
God.
let it. Yeah, I definitely think he let his ego get the best of him, and as a result, he thought he was untouchable. He started doing things, and he had two husbands and all this other stuff. And the guy that his husband that wound up killing himself, I believe he was depressed because remember it was at one point that they said that he couldn't function without weed, he couldn't function without certain drugs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think quite naturally he was, and they said Joe was controlling him by basically feeding that habit.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
so I think that he was battling some kind of depression.
yeah, I do too. I mean, but it was funny because I still don't know like how that dynamic worked, and I really don't need to know all of that inner workings of that. But um, you know, you had the trial because eventually what ends up happening is Joe he gets involved with some more shady characters besides Jeff Lowe.
Well. Let's talk about how the trial became to be a trial. What Joe did to get
That's what I'm
himself.
saying. So he got these
Yeah,
shady characters, right? Jeff Lowe, and then they met this other dude who apparently is some kind of he was involved in strip clubs at one point, um,
yeah. He was like the muscle.
and he was just kind of there, but he no not the handyman,
Oh, okay.
the other guy, the other dude that did the snitching first.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
the big dude,
Yeah,
yeah. So he got involved with him, and Jeff Lowe kind of conspired against Joe to catch him in a murder for hire scheme because
Carol back.
to kill Carol Baskins. And Jeff Lowe's right hand man, who was a convicted felon who did time, um,
Yeah,
did
for some violent crimes.
who did not like Joe, did not like Joe at all, and and mind you, Jeff Lowe had already had the rights to the park. I don't know exactly what agreement they had it for sure,
He had to put it in Jeff. He had to put it in Jeff's name in
but
order
Joe
to
was still
hide from the
there.
auditors.
But Joe was still there, and he just wanted to be rid of Joe. So
Yeah, so basically, Joe was still there trying to run the spot because in his mind it's his spot. But once he put it in Jeff's name, then Jeff started. Jeff said, "Hey, I got you, buddy. Now it's mine." And now these people got to do what I say. Now I'm the boss. But see, Joe in his mind couldn't handle that,
no, he couldn't. He didn't
and
want to handle that.
that's where things got funky.
And then so he put his trust in this dude, and this guy was like, "Hey, my, I guess they're tongue in cheek, like, oh, how much would you charge to go kill Carol Baskins for me?" And
Right,
they
right,
put
right,
a
right.
number
So
and they put
one
a
of his
number
buddies.
to it, and then they boom, they got him. And the dude said he had no intentions on doing anything, and he didn't even go down to Florida.
But it was an undercover cop involved. Remember that? The guy wind up going. The guy wind up. The guy was supposed to go and do the job, but when he got down there to do it, he wound up backing out of it. And by then, for some weird reason, I don't know how, but the cops found out about it.
The cops found out because of the dude, the big dude. They got
Yeah,
involved with him, and they were trying to get in with him. So, and he found and he told Jeff, and then Jeff told his boy. He was like, "Hey, remember that Joe told you to go do this, and you gave him a number, and you gave and he gave you the money." Because if there was no money exchange and they had nothing, it's just
They
talk.
had no case. They had no case.
So, and the guy even admitted on the show, he was like, I didn't even go down there. I got stuck in South Carolina and was in the
Strip club.
strip club. I didn't even make it to Florida. But then he said he went down to
Yeah.
Florida and backed out in court. So he lied.
He did lie, and he didn't even get charged for that.
Nothing. They didn't, and that's the whole thing about the show. Is like, okay, well, you see all these flaws, and I was wondering why they had a newscaster, a local newscaster on in on the show, and she was like, yeah, the guy basically perjured himself, and they didn't do anything about it. It was
That's
just
good because they had a focus point.
they exactly they just wanted to get rid of him, and I think because of Carol Baskin's money and power and influence, because she goes to the Capitol and she speaks on behalf of tiger conservatories and things like that, or tiger conservation. She, I think that kind of protected her in that light. I guess I don't know, but they really were focusing on what she wanted, and she wanted to be done with Joe, and Joe got sent to jail, and even his boy testified against him. They didn't call the manager who had been there for all those years. They didn't call him.
That was because of Joe's ego, man, and he had a lot of undercover enemies because of his ego. So when it was all said and done, a lot of people turned their back on Joe.
See, but that was the thing. It's like you got a ragtag group of people, and the guy was upset because of the way that they were putting down animals, and I think that was the big thing. It's like they put their trust in us, and he was like, "Did you have to put these animals down because of medical reasons?" And he was like, "Not all the time. It was just you just put them down." And when they found the
He wasn't taking
bodies,
care of. He wasn't doing the right thing.
no, and they found the bodies of the skeletons of some of those cats. Then and that was pretty much a wrap, man. They had the place mic'd, they had it wired, they had
That
all
big
kind of
fire.
stuff going. Yeah, man, it was just a nightmare, and it was crazy. I enjoyed the hell out of that show.
Yeah, it was dope. It kept my attention the whole time because it was always like, what's gonna happen next? Whoever orchestrated it, they did a good job. It was always about what's gonna happen next, what's gonna happen with Joe, these cats, what's gonna happen with Carol. I mean, is somebody gonna die? Are they gonna find out that she actually killed her husband? Are they gonna find some remains? It was always like that what if factor, and that's kind of what makes a lot of shows, good. That's what makes people keep tuning in. It's always that what if factor. You always got to leave people, with that what if factor, and that makes people come back for more. And that's probably why you watched the whole damn thing in one day.
Hey, man.
Down there. The hell? What was that?
Man.
Let them run the jump.
You know what that is?
Let them roam.
Oh my God.
Then stand back and marvel.
Man, dude.
That's Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
Cause that's a
He had an
tiger.
album out. He did have a song.
And that's not even his voice, man.
Tiger.
Man.
I wanna kill the bitch, blow her head off.
Oh, man. Man, that. Oh.
Bro got a whole album. He got 17 tracks about killing this goddamn lady.
Yeah. That was, man. Well, Big Smoke D's in the room helping us out.
How much time did Joe wind up getting?
22.
Oh my God!
22.
And I think they got him on like 19 charges or something like that.
Yeah, I think it was 22 years that he got. I think.
God, they threw the book at that man. They threw the book at him, and he's like already in his 60s.
Yeah, he's an older gentleman. I do not. I think that I don't think he's going to do all of the time because I think he's going to get out.
He won't. No.
But
but that Tiger King Ranch is pretty much gone. That's gone.
Yeah, because Jeff has that, and he already is trying to. They just did an
And
interview
yeah,
with
he
him in
was
his
already
last.
selling tigers. But then remember when Joe moved out, he snatched up some tigers.
Yeah, but where did he put him? I mean,
He probably just sold them.
yeah, yeah,
He
he
didn't have
did.
nowhere to put them. He had to sell them, and he needed the money.
So where
He
like
took the most expensive ones
and
in the
even
middle of the night.
and even the guy that Jeff was working with, he even turned his back on Jeff already because he knew Jeff was full of shit.
But see, Jay, Job about to say Jeff was a scammer. Jeff had Joe thinking he had money, and that's how he gained Joe's trust.
Yeah, oh yeah, you got all those affliction shirts, and you 50
Mm.
years old wearing affliction still. That's not damn.
Thinking he a UFC champion,
You know
and he
what?
looking like a
That
looking
goes
like
to
a
show.
KFC champion.
That goes to show, man. Like when you find a style that works for you, and you really feeling yourself, you never get out of that style. That's just like, oh,
He
I'm
ain't
just
go,
gonna,
he ain't gone to it to a fault.
you know what I mean? I'm just like, okay, cool. 'Cause
Yeah, he
that's
looking
just,
like Ronald Isley.
yeah.
He got on the jean jacket, nigga. You 75. Boy, if you knock it off, put on a jogging suit.
Man, I mean, I've seen a dude coming, walk into my store, and he had a Jerry curl, and
When was this?
this was a couple months ago.
Woo, fresh out of jail.
No, 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 no. I've been seeing this man for 3
Letting his
years.
soul glow.
I've been seeing this man for 3 years.
Letting his soul glow.
I mean, that was his look, and he just stayed with it. And he looked like Easy E, and he just stayed like this. This is when I was. This is when I was getting it. I was doing it. This is what I'm doing. I'm staying.
This is the highlight
with
of
it.
my life.
This is it.
That's why That's why Joe rocked that mullet in
Exactly.
2020.
And
In
it's true.
2020 with a full blown mullet,
You-
looking like MacGyver daddy.
I mean,
Straight up.
you look at it and you see people all the time. Like they style is the style that they had when they were feeling it. Like when they were like, man, like this,
Walking around in some hammer pants.
man.
Like,
you know what I mean? I was getting girls. I was making money. This is my look right now. You know what I mean? This is I'm feeling comfortable,
brother.
and this is like,
Bless they heart.
You know what I mean? So I get it because I haven't really changed my style too much. I try to curve it a little bit, but I can't go crazy with it.
Some styles are very adaptive. You have like a very versatile style that kind of goes with different eras. Then you got that one style that just that's just straight up 85. Like you can't even squeeze that into the 90s, let alone the 2000s.
Look, I mean, like you think about all those trends and the fads and stuff, like the skinny jean fad that used to be going on. Like it was tough. Like
that was going on in the 80s.
I'm talking about like when they came back a few years back when the skinny jeans came back. So you got the tightest jeans on your calves and your thighs, and you got those pants, and they coming right around your they don't even they past your butt. They're below your butt, and you sagging in these tight ass jeans. And I never forget it. I saw a dude. He was about 6'5", 400 pounds.
Oh my god, that's too damn big.
Skinny jeans, and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh
that is somebody's son. Okay, he got on some jeans spandex. He can't put nothing in his pocket but some change.
Man,
and they damn new see through because they so tight. You can tell he got 34 cents in his pocket. Like the jeans is just ridiculously tight. He can't do nothing. He can't even bend down. If you get chased by a dog, he can't run.
You can't run. You can't do nothing, man. I mean more power to him because you're trying to be fashion
forward. One thing
forward.
you do is stop, drop, and roll. That's it.
I mean, you try to be fashion forward. I get it. You try to move with the time. You got to, you got to keep your hair fresh and all that stuff. I mean, unfortunately, I can't do it with my hair, but it's just, I get it. I understand, but come on now. It's some things that when you're a big dude,
that's just some people, man. That's just how they roll. That's just how their comfort zone. They found something that they think worked for them, and then that's always gonna be somebody's uncle. I remember growing up, all my friends had uncles like. It's a guy in the barbecue grill with the Jesus sandals on, with his fanny pack, and his rayon shirt tucked in. You know what I mean? And he got a tight ass rayon shirt on, and he got all that. His head like Jermaine Jackson.
Oh, super greasy.
Yeah, he over there hooking up the ribs. So the ribs about to be fire.
Come
The
on.
ribs about to be fired though.
Come
But
on, man.
he looked like I don't need him dropping me off nowhere. I don't even need to be my Uber driver.
Come
Everybody
on,
had an uncle
dog.
like that. My uncle used to look like that back in the day, and I used to need to ride to school.
Man,
I'm
did you
like,
see the
don't ever
chat?
drop me off in the front. Drop me off 8 blocks over here. Like he want to take me to the front.
Man, you see the
I'm
chat?
like, no. Mm-mm-mm. I'm like, no, bro. I cannot be associated with nothing that look like a cool Jesus. Like you got on Jesus sandals, got on boys to men shorts
Oh, man.
with the fanny pack, the Jermaine Jackson haircut.
Oh, my God.
Mm.
Oh.
And he think he Billy D in his prime.
Ooh, wee. Oh, man. No,
And that's how Joe Exotic was.
that's exactly how Joe Exotic was. I mean,
Wake up and they showed him getting out of bed, waking up in the morning, going into they showed him getting ready for that date with that guy. And he was getting ready for the date and he was shaving and all that. And he thought he looked good. He looked like a goddamn idiot.
oh, yeah, he's getting ready. And he got married. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he got married to that dude. And then the young dudes talking about, yeah, we married to a guy, but we're not gay. Like, what?
Yeah, the dude he was banging some chick, had a baby with her, and all when he like,
Oh, the guy, yeah, his husband, yeah, you're right.
yeah, I'm just like, all right, I don't know what is going on. This is crazy. That show. I mean, I want to see what happens with all those characters, but at this point, how everybody is on it now, I'm like, all right, I'm over it. Like, okay, because everybody. You finally saw that picture in the chat.
Yo, what? That is crazy, bro. That's unacceptable, bro. You should get a ticket. You should be a sex offender after you walk around like that.
Man,
you gotta go on the sex offenders registry.
I mean,
for
real. So, I mean, when we continue doing these shows, I'll start inviting people to the chats so they could see what we got going on in here. This is
crazy, bro.
Ridiculous. Oh, The Rock.
Oh my god.
Fanny pack galore, and this is ridiculous.
Fanny pack.
And that made a comeback too. Like
that ain't nothing but a purse.
Like seriously, dude. Like, oh, I got the fanny pack on deck. Like, just because you carry it over your shoulder don't mean it's not a fanny pack. Get out of here.
You can carry it on your ankle like a house arrest bracelet.
Yeah,
it don't matter.
Nah, man.
It's
if you can get in there
pack,
to get your ID, that's a purse. And
it's pretty much borderline nanny pack.
Yeah, it's like, come on now. You're not fooling nobody.
Nanny pack.
You just call it a European carry-all. Just get it over with. I mean, like,
just call it like, just say this is where my nuts go. You know what I mean? My nuts. Because I can't get them in these tight ass jeans, so I got the fanny pack to keep my nuts in.
I mean, seriously, like oh my god. I mean, dude, it's crazy. It's the stuff now going on nowadays is crazy. I can't even really call it. Come on, dog.
You make this stuff up, man.
Man, you killing me with this stuff in this chat room right now. I wish you guys could see it, but
oh my god. Yeah, bro. I'm over here rolling looking at these pictures.
I mean,
hey, Walmart will never let you down, bro. You can always find some shit in Walmart.
Dog.
Walmart will never let you down.
Dog. So, I mean, okay, now have you gone shopping recently?
Yeah, I've been shopping. Everybody got their masks and gloves on, look like they're about to rob the place. But yeah, I've been shopping. I've been doing a lot of shopping, mainly obviously just for groceries and essential items.
Okay, so now out there, because you live in a different state, and my hometown, and we out here in Henderson, I just went to the store, and I was like, all right, let me go to the store real quick this morning, and I remember it was like, oh, they lining up outside. I'm like, what?
Right.
Yeah, my boy No Shame, who's in here putting up these hilarious pictures, was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, they lined up outside out the door. And so I called this morning, like, how many people you got lined up? because they only letting a certain amount of people in at one time. So I was
Yeah,
like, and I was like,
depending on the stores you go to. I normally try to go to like the no name brand stores, like instead of the big brand stores, because it's just too many people.
yeah. And so I called, and they were like, oh, we got 2 people waiting. I was like, all right, bet. I live right down the street. Let me jump in my car. Boom, boom, boom. I get up there and I walk in straight away. No problem. I'm in there because this is my first time in that store since all has happened. The second time, since all this stuff happened. And I was like, okay, I grabbed my stuff, and I'm kind of grabbing stuff for the long haul. And it's just my luck that I grab all this stuff for the long haul now, and they be like, tomorrow I'll be like, yeah, we're done. We can just everything's done. We can just open up everything. We're good. No more restrictions, and I got all this stuff like I'm,
Right.
hibernating for winter.
Like it's Armageddon.
Yeah, exactly. Except for the toilet paper, I was not doing that. I was not going crazy over toilet paper. I still don't understand that.
Well, there was like a rumor saying that the stores are going to be closed for a couple months, so people wanted to stock up. So you don't want to go 2 or 3 months without having like a nice supply of toilet paper. Because then you wiping your ass with like tortillas and rugs and shit. Like
tortillas and rugs, tortillas and rugs.
You got a corn tortilla in your ass. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to roll like that, bro.
The first thing tortillas. Wipe my ass with.
They should not be selling non-essential items. If you go on the website, all the essential items are sold out. Until you restock and until you close this building, shut it down. Dildos are not essential items.
Dildos
Books,
are not.
For kids, yes, but dildos?
Oh, you talking about? Oh, I remember that. The guy from Amazon.
Dildos are not essential
The guy
items.
from Amazon. Yeah. Pissed the fuck off.
Oh shit!
That dude was pissed the fuck off.
Man, they did a skit on Saturday Night Live, and everything is being done from home now. And they were talking about a dating game, like, oh, you're quarantined, and it's like, okay, the quarantine is done. Who would you? And they're talking to 3 different girls, and each one of them said, I went through 1 vibrator. The next one, I went through 3 vibrators. I went through a vibrator and a toothbrush.
What are they doing to these vibrators?
Man, like,
what are they doing to these poor vibrators? Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, you got a whole handlebar up in you. Like, what are you doing?
oh, man.
And they wonder why they breaking our fucking back. We gotta go to work. We got 1 back. We cannot do it.
Man, they tearing those vibrators up because they saw Tiger King.
There you go,
and they
man.
got all hot and bothered.
These women are the same tigers that was in his cage. Like, straight fuck up. I would not want to do it, bro. I don't know what they're doing to these poor vibrators. But you cannot ride off with no $45 vibrator. You need like a $700 vibrator.
No, man, yeah, you need something that you got to plug in. And you got to be, oh, man, you need a power supply.
You need a vibrator that come with the Bluetooth that tell you how much he means to you. Man, like, God damn.
Dude, I mean, it's this whole thing has been crazy. Like, when I walked out that store this morning, it was a line about 15 deep. And I was just like, dude, what is really going on? Like, it's still like this. And they sanitize you. And you walk in like, you need some hand sanitizer. You squirting me in my hand or something. Like, all right, dude, that's cool. But dude, this is something definitely that's different.
People have rumored and said that it's the new world order. This is just how things are going to be from now on.
Yeah,
there is no going back.
I
guess time will tell. I guess time will tell, but I don't know, man.
I want to say that's not going to happen. Just like with all the other stuff that happened before, it was this swine flu, H1N1, all that stuff, where it was just like, oh, okay, everything's cool, and then you forget about it until the next one happens, until the next presidential election, because that's when the shit happens. And don't think I don't know, okay? Don't think I'm not on you, Illuminati. No, but
we did it.
No, but I was just like, every time there's something that's going on, it's around every 4 years. And I'm like, this is a coincidence, maybe, or this is premeditated. So you really got to think about it. You really got to think about it. But as long as you're out there, I mean, shit, you in the middle of it, you can't do nothing. It's not like, not Henderson is closed, so I can't go down to the Strip and just be like, oh, I'm just going to go chill. It's nothing to do. I go down there and drive, and the lights are still on most of the casinos, but they have a few of them that's off. But it's crazy. It's nothing to do. You sitting in the house, and you hopefully, like, you always think you're going to be productive, right? It's like, okay, I got all this time. I'm going to be productive. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I got so much time to do. And like I said, I spent majority of the time in the bed. Like, I need this rest.
You got to really, I realize, man, you got to really push yourself, because if you don't push yourself and you think that it's just going to happen organically and it just doesn't work like that. You got to you got to push yourself, because you don't just wake up one day and write a fucking screenplay. Like, you got to push yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if that's not your normal natural lifestyle, it's just not going to happen because you really want it to happen. If you really want it to happen, you got to push yourself, because no one else is going to call you and push you, make sure you're washing your ass, brushing your teeth, and writing that screenplay right. No one's going to do that.
Yeah, not when you're 40 years old, no.
I don't give a damn what age you are. No one's going to do that living alone. So, like,
look,
you got to push yourself.
I mean, when you were a kid, that shit happens, and you still living at your parents' house.
Yeah, but somebody's cracking the whip on your ass. But when you're grown, like, you don't have that pressure. It's just all about self-discipline, So every day you're exercising that self-discipline, and if you don't do it right, you're just gonna screw the day away. Next thing you know, it's gonna be sunset, and you're gonna be like, "Damn, the sun's already setting." You know what I mean? And you're gonna look back on the day like, "I didn't do shit all day."
Well, I got my bachelor's degree in film, and I got my master's in procrastination, and I got my doctorate in wasting time. So,
this situation should be a prime example that time is not on our side. This situation should be a prime example that time is not our side. Because don't think I don't have, things that I look back on and say, man, I screwed up a lot of time. I should have did this a long time ago. I should have did that a long time ago. I got a list of things where I feel like I should have did that a long time ago. And as a result, because I didn't do it, now I got to deal with X, Y, and Z. So this particular situation should show a lot of people that, we got to live our dreams. We got to do what we really want to do. And we got to, stop thinking that things are going to happen just because we want them to happen. We got to will and push ourselves for these things to happen.
If there's a will, there's a way.
And there has to be a will. You know what I mean? You got to push every single day, not just a week, not 2 weeks. You got to push every day, because, you might start off good, but it's never about how you start. It's always about how you finish.
I mean, it's a marathon, man. It's a marathon, and it's not a sprint. So you start off slow and just finish. Just make sure that you finish. That's the most important thing. And I mean, the thing is that all this, the technology and everything that has come so far, like it's a whole lot of things that I never thought I would be able to do. I just thought they were unattainable because you needed this and you needed that. Well, the technology, you're able to do so much now. And it's just like, oh man, this is, cool. I could do this, I could do that. And slowly, I'm slowly chipping away at a lot of the things that, you and I talked about when we were kids. You know what I mean? And shit, it might have taken, 30 years, but whatever, it's a marathon. I mean, I'm still here. I'm still living.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes you got to do things, when it's right for you to do it. Sometimes if things happen to you too early in your life, you don't actually take care of them and do them properly because you're not mentally prepared for the thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes, sometimes it is about timing. Like, you gotta seize the opportunity and seize the moment. If certain things happen when it's not the right time, you're not gonna be able to capture it. You're not gonna be able to appreciate it right. You know what I mean? Like, that's why some people, they have these opportunities that other people wish and love that they would have, and it never happens for them. And then they look at those people that it happens to, but they don't do the right thing. But with those opportunities, and there's a lot of people like, oh man, if I had that, I would have did it this way and that way. But this particular guy that actually had it, he didn't know what to do with it.
Exactly. I mean, and it's one of those, like you said, you got to seize the day. Each day, you got to and just try to chip away at what you want to do. It's all. I mean, not to be cliche, but you set your goals, and you just try to knock them out, and you do your best that you can for that day.
But you got to push yourself.
Yeah,
otherwise you sleep the whole week away. Shit.
Oh yeah, it's easy. It's real easy. Trust me. Especially if you got about 70 beers in you. That's all you've been doing, just drinking beers.
Man, a refrigerator full. Yeah, when this whole quarantine thing happened, I thought it was vacation. I'm like, I'm gonna get some beer, some wine, some chill out, some food, and I'm gonna hit my Netflix up, and I'm gonna chill out. But then it started turning into life. I'm like, oh shit, this is life. Like I gotta do something with all of this. I can't just chill. I can't travel. I can't go see my friends. I can't go out. Can't watch the game. Like this is real life.
Yeah, this is where we are now. We got to create.
Can't even get my hair cut. I'm over here looking like Frederick.
I mean, dude. I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, you are older than me, but I do have a lot more gray hair.
Oh my god. Yeah, I might be older, but you got the look, baby. You got the look.
Look, man. I'm not even ashamed, man. 30 was the new 60 for me. Everybody talking about it's the new 20. Nah, man, it was a new 60 for me. I'm old. So I just
you might be missing Spinderella, but you got the salt and pepper.
That's definitely more salt now too. That's a damn shame.
I got a couple little spots I see coming in. I'm like, oh, I gotta get on these. Another 15 years, it's gonna be a wrap.
Ooh, man.
I'm gonna be in the mullet gang.
Oh man, I'm telling you, dude. The cul-de-sac is real on top of my head, boy. I live in the cul-de-sac, and I got
the sunroofing afro.
I got the sunroof, and I got a panoramic view on my head, man.
Got the moon roof.
It's just doing too much, man. I'm telling you, it's crazy too. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna shave, and I'm like, what am I gonna shave for? I'm not going nowhere. Like nobody coming over here. Right. Like, oh, you can do FaceTime, you can do all this stuff. Nobody care. I don't. You know what I mean? I put a head
everybody want to do a FaceTime now. I'm like, I got a quarantine face. I can't even do it.
Man,
they ain't shaving nothing.
I'm telling you, we do a weekly call now because we used to have a Friday night. My Friday night group, we'll meet up and have cigars and drink at the bar. The bar's closed, can't go there. So we do on Zoom now, and it's just like it's a whole bunch of dudes, and I don't give a fuck. I'm just sitting there, yeah, whatever, just chilling. So, oh man, rough ain't the word for it. I had to go. It was pretty decent out today. It was a nice day, nice morning, and I had to put on like a skull cap because my hair is looking toe back, and I cannot go out this with my hair like this. So it was hot in the motherfucker. And I already sweat a lot. So I got this skull cap on. People look like, what's wrong with this dude? Is he sick? And they just like give me a wide berth, which I enjoy because I like being around a whole bunch of people anyway. But it did not help. It did not help. And I got a sweater on because I'm trying to hold in the funk. So it's just all kind of bad. It's like, it's just, I'm sweating, it's hot, and I got this sweater on with the hoodie and a hat on. And I'm just like, oh God, let me get in the house. I'm exhausted already.
Yeah, man, it's a lot, man. You gotta make it your own. You know what I mean? It's a lot. A lot at once.
Man, it's too much, man. Well, so I don't know when the next time we're gonna be on here. Hopefully, this could be a weekly or a monthly or whatever. I don't know. But this is something that, like I said, we've been wanting to do for a minute and just kind of get into and give a little. I guess in the future episodes, you'll learn a little bit more about us and what we're doing. in future episodes, so we can kind of figure out and get a groove going. But this has been fun, man. I really
man. Joe Exotic, baby. Free Joe Exotic.
Free Joe Exotic. God, come on, dog.
And if you're a Joe Exotic fan, you better be a Michael Vick fan. That's all I gotta say.
Oh, that's interesting. Now that's interesting. Just like this haircut.
Come on, let's talk about it. If you're a Joe Exotic fan, you gotta be a Michael Vick fan. You gotta be, because Michael Vick wasn't even there. He went to jail for something that was going on at his property that was happening behind his back.
But they said he was there too, doing some stuff.
No. Read it again. Michael Vick wasn't there. He wasn't there. But they said it happened at his property, and basically, like, you're guilty by affiliation. You should have known it was at your property. He wasn't there. How could he be there? He's in the NFL. He's traveling.
Man, they got off seasons, man.
Nah, bro, he wasn't there. Okay, and if he was there, it wasn't the majority of the time. Like, he's rolling. Like, if you're a Michael Vick fan, you got to be if you're a Joe Exotic fan, you got to be Michael Vick fan. Straight up.
Okay.
You can't.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm gonna need you to elaborate a little bit more.
Well, listen. How you gonna be a Joe Exotic fan? A guy who basically was indicted on not taking care of these tigers, killing the tigers, basically not giving them the proper medical condition, basically abusing them, basically keeping them in cages against their will, basically doing every single thing that goes against the humane, aspect of being a tiger trainer, a breeder. And then you're going to sit here and say that, he was better than Michael Vick, who was basically accused of dog fighting and putting dogs through abuse and basically not taking care of them and doing inhumane things towards dogs, towards animals. And dogs are actually notoriously known for fighting. They're known for, that's basically like, an aspect of the dog world. So ain't no way in hell you could be a Joe Exotic fan and not a Michael Vick fan.
What's the biggest difference between the two?
The mullet. I mean, okay, Joe Exotic actually had a park and it was organized and he actually had employees. He obviously had a different setup. Okay. But the concept is the same. In my opinion, the concept is the same.
Okay.
People say, like his haters all say, that he didn't take good care of the cats, that he never gave any of the cats proper medical attention. How come none of the cats ever got sick and needed to go to the hospital in all them years? Come on, that don't sound right. But then they found bones of cats.
Mm-hmm.
They found cats that were not doing great, and then obviously the cats are stressed out. They're in cages. They're not supposed to be in cages. So basically, what you're doing is you're putting animals in a position where they're not normally supposed to be. You're stressing them out, and then you're not taking proper care of them, which is basically the same thing Michael Vick did. He's putting dogs in rings where they're forced to fight for their lives.
Yeah.
And some of them are dying. You know what I mean? So basically, not only that, it wasn't even Michael Vick doing it. It was his family and friends doing it. It wasn't Michael Vick personally doing it, because obviously he has an NFL career to worry about. He's not personally doing it. It was his family and friends at his property doing it. So he's not even technically supposed to, directly doing it. He's indirectly doing it.
Yeah.
But Joe Exotic was directly doing this. He's hands on. He don't got no NFL career. You know what I mean? Like, he's hands on. So if you're a Joe Exotic fan and you're cool with what he did, you got to be a Michael Vick fan, because it's a million people that's gonna say, "Oh, Joe never did that." But then you got a million people that's gonna say, "Well, Michael Vick never did that. He was never there. It was not his fault." So, in my opinion, you can't root for Joe and not root for Michael Vick.
Okay, I can see that. I mean, you're gonna have people that are going to be like, "Oh, Michael Vick, the dogs are." I'm trying to think of the argument that I can say, because I see what you're saying, that they were both accused of something similar, but Joe's thing was those cats. Yeah, they didn't want to be there either. So it's not like they were, he was going into the wild and doing that. He had them at his property. doing all kind of stuff.
Come on now.
The biggest thing, though, the biggest difference is one of
What's the
them.
biggest difference?
One of them.
They were both harmful. The moral of the story is they were both harmful to animals. That's the moral of the both. That's the moral of both of their stories. They were both harmful to animals, and people say they were both cruel. But now, the only issue I have is people that have Joe Exotic as their guy, but they don't have Michael Vick as their guy. And now everybody else in society is saying that these guys were both cruel to animals, and animals did not deserve it. But then again, they turn a blind eye to people that go to Africa and hunt elephants. They hunt, all kind of wild turkeys and wild game. They hunt deer, But then they want to get on Joe Exotic and Michael Vick. They hunt quail.
I know somebody who went on safari too, so I know that that's real. Hunting elephants and stuff like that. But you know what the thing about Joe Exotic? Okay, the biggest thing is Joe Exotic went to jail basically. Like the things about the cats, that was like a bonus.
Because it was really about Carol Baskin.
It was about the murder for hire, and they think that he was set up. That's why people are.
But let's dig into it. Why did he go after Carol Baskin? What was it about Carol Baskin that made Joe even get himself in that situation? Because she was accusing Joe of being a poor handler.
Yeah, of the cats and using the cat and the babies just to make money.
Right. And she was going after his reputation and after his business and after his money. That's what, that's how the whole thing got started. Because she was saying he was abusing and he wasn't a good handler. He was basically abusing his power and authority.
But see,
and he was.
But that's the thing. Now Michael Vick went to jail. You said because I thought that they were eyewitnesses saying that Michael Vick did some abuse to the dogs himself.
Oh no! See, I was always under the impression that it happened at Michael Vick's property, and that when they got in contact with the people that was doing it, they all went and said Michael Vick knew about it, and everybody was like, "Damn, Vick, what kind of dudes you got on your team? Where they gonna just rat you out and put your name in it?" Okay. And Michael Vick was like, "Look, I'm in the NFL. I'm traveling. I don't know nothing about that." And then you got people that's like, "Well, it's happening at your property. How don't you know about it? Even though he probably owns multiple properties." But people are like, "Hey, this is happening at your property." And then the guys that is happening that actually got caught hands on were saying, "Well, Michael Vick knew it." And they're like, "Well, Dan, you must not have been taking care of your people for them to snitch you out like that." So now they're basically trying to say Michael is just as guilty as everybody else. But guess what? No one else went to jail but Michael Vick.
Yeah.
And that was messed up.
Yeah, and there was no free Michael campaign that was going on. People were because
it was like one of those campaigns to keep him out of the NFL, keep him from making money. He's a killer. They had the same thing as Joe. They had Peter out there. Peter was like making their claims and all that. Trying to like make it seem like he was just a major abuser. Like he was walking around with cat skin, jackets on.
I mean, the thing I think what people are always and they all, I mean not always, but more and more they're becoming just cover readers of books, right?
Exactly, not reading the fine print.
And they're not reading the actual book. They'll read the front and then read the back and be like, "Oh, I pretty much got this. Let me put this in this category." And you go until you just like what we did, or at least what I did when I saw the Tiger King on Netflix. I was like, okay, this is going to be a little reality show that'll pass the time for a little bit. But it was so much more. And if I had just in my mind not looked at it, watched the show, then I would have just been like, okay, would have had no idea, and I would have just thought it was some silly reality show, but it wasn't that at all. You know what I mean? So
especially after watching "Don't Fuck with Kittens."
Oh my God, and that one, when you think about it, and the headlines, and who was the one that came out to support him, a major celebrity, was it Cardi B? That was talking about Free Joe and all this stuff. That's cool, But it wasn't. You didn't have that support for Vick, and I hate I'm not that dude. I'm really not that dude. I'm really not. But the biggest difference is one of them is Caucasian, one of them is black. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I mean, hey, you hit the nail on the head. You know
what I mean.
That's why a lot of black people were saying it ain't no way you can be a Joe. A Joe Exotic fan. He ain't not a Michael Vick fan. That's why a lot of black people were saying that.
Exactly, and it's just like
because we didn't hear this kind of rallying of the troops. They was crucifying Vick, and they got him in the prime of his career. And a lot of people saying no, they went after Michael Vick because he was going after those white quarterbacks' legacy. He would have made them look like some damn buffoons. If they would have let him go in his prime, he probably would have been one of the better quarterbacks we've ever seen.
Yeah,
he was fast as fuck. He was accurate as shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he was basically poking Tom Brady in the back. He didn't have the same team, but at the same time, hey, let's throw this guy a curveball. That's how a lot of black people feel. Let's throw this guy a curveball and put his ass in his place. Show him he's still black. Put his ass in jail. Same way they do to every heavyweight champion boxer that's ever been around. If you name a heavyweight championship boxer, they all been, and most of them during their prime.
Yeah,
that's what a lot of black people would say. That's what a lot of black people would say, that they're it's being orchestrated.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah,
it's a hell of a coincidence.
And I agree. I agree. It's crazy. It is crazy to think about. You see a lot. People get taken out in their prime, man, and when they're trying to do something positive to really make change.
We can name a gang. We can name a nice little white guys that had legal issues that it didn't affect them the same. Like, let's say for instance, Big Ben. He all the women that they say he forced himself. He didn't do no time. He didn't leave the NFL.
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah, he allegedly was being inappropriate and forcing himself on women and stuff like that. Yeah, and it's crazy.
They sweep it under the rug, just like the Luke Walton and the girl, and the Marv Albert and the girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
they sweep it under the rug. But Kobe Bryant, he dead, and they still talking about that.
Oh, that was so sick.
That was foul, man. That was foul.
That was so you know what?
And Lisa Leslie, man, shout out to her, man. She handled herself like a class act, but that was not right.
So I'm just gonna go. I mean, we kind of jumping all over the place, but that's just what you get when you always into something. So when I was heard about Kobe, just kind of going back to that, I was at a restaurant with my friend, and she was like, "Oh, Kobe Bryant just died." She got a text message from her mom, and I was like, "Nah, that's not true. That's some kind of hoax, whatever." I didn't see nothing. I didn't see anything on the news. I didn't see anything. And I go on there and I see some reports, and I'm like, CNN didn't break in, so we'll just see. We'll see. So CNN finally broke in, and I was like, okay, and it happened, and then they're like, Kobe Bryant, such and such and such and such, once accused of. I'm like, why are you bringing this up right now? I was like, I'm done. I'm done. I didn't want to watch no more, but she wanted to finish watching it, but I was pissed. I was like, why are you bringing it up right now? Like, the dude just died. Like, why?
Right.
But and they always want to tarnish
that shit.
The name.
Way out of pocket. What do you gain from that? I swear to God, we the worst. We the fucking worst. We expect more from you, Gail. Don't you hang out with Oprah? Why y'all attacking us?
Yes.
We your people. You ain't coming after fucking Harvey Weinstein ass nigga.
Right.
I get sick of y'all. I want to call you one.
Yep.
Is it okay if I call her one? Funky dog head bitch. How dare you try to tarnish my motherfucking reputation?
No, dog.
Fucker. Respect the family and back off.
My nigga Snoop. Snoop Dogg.
Shit.
Snoop Dogg said what everybody else was thinking. Like, come
Yeah,
on, man, we
yeah.
mourning right now. This was our dude.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Kobe was our dude. They try to, like Eddie Griffin said, they try to put an asterisk by every black man, by every great black man name.
Yep.
Everybody got an asterisk.
Yep.
Michael Jackson, raped kids.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Muhammad Ali, didn't want to go to war.
Yep.
He was a Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike Tyson, raped women. You know what I mean? Michael Jordan, gambling. Like everybody try to get an asterisk. Kobe Bryant, raped women. Everybody got to go out with an asterisk. Can't nobody go with clean. Can't nobody go with a clean slate. You know what I mean? But they don't talk about that when they talk about Woody Harrelson and Ben Roethlisberger. They don't talk about the asterisks.
They didn't say nothing about Frank Sinatra.
Marv Albert. Elvis Presley. Priscilla Presley was a teenager. Was like 13 years old when they got married. Get the hell out of here.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just you see that kind of divide that's going on, and No Shame is the MVP today with these drops and these photos, man. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous. But shout out to No Shame, OX baby. It's ridiculous, man. We got so much further from and it made so much progress, but it seems like certain things bring it back, and they want to bring it back to that old mentality to where you are less than because of the color of your skin, and that's just unfortunate. It really is, and nowadays, and in these type of times, it's like it's no cause for that. I'm not saying that we should go to war with different countries, but we are all here now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's focus on what we can do as a country, as a people of the United States, not just of a particular race. Let's focus on that and move forward, because we're losing because of all this silly pettiness that we're losing. We're going to lose. We're not going to be number one.
Yeah, but I'm going to say something that we have something that we didn't have before that's kind of evening out the playing field. And what that is social media. Now we got our own platform, and we can talk to the masses. Anybody can talk to the masses now. It's not just celebrity. So if
who controls it?
Win, huh?
But who controls it though?
Yeah, okay, yeah, we can always say that, but
yeah, Jerry Lee did mess up. He had some young girls too. Yeah.
Yeah, but from some standpoint, we still can reach the masses, which we could never do in the 90s and backwards. We can reach the masses now, and we gotta be responsible. We gotta use that. We gotta use that to our advantage. And if we got to start our own platform. We can't just always go to Twitter, Facebook, and all that, because we already know who runs that. We gotta get our own platform. We used to have Black, and then we jumped off.
What was it?
Black Planet.
Oh, I remember that. When I was in college.
My whole point to say is that a lot of Black people need their own platform, and because they're being censored and they're being erased and they're being blocked and they're being put in jail, online jail, whatever you want to call it, they're not being able to speak freely, and that's why Farrakhan was blocked from Facebook and things like that. But what happened to our amendment rights? What happened to freedom of speech? Now they're blocking people from online. You can't say this. You can't say that. No one's making threats. We're just talking.
And you know what? My thing is, I don't know if we need a platform. Is that's just gonna further the separation? Our own platform. You know what? The funny thing is, and I was watching. It was a TV show. It was on YouTube. Vice.
I love Vice.
And they were talking about historically Black colleges and how a good portion of them now have allowed white students. Why? Because of money.
Right.
They need to have the money because, I mean, my thing is if you graduate and you are from one of these historically Black colleges, you should be able to, your alumni should be able to support and help fund your school, but that's not happening. And it's so they have to go out, which I kind of like the idea. I don't think that it's anything wrong with it, but I also can see an issue with it as well. You know what I mean? It's because you don't want to further the divide of separate but equal or anything like that. I think that we're all one race. I mean, I'm sorry. What did Roy say? Homo sapiens. So it's just we're all here together. We all bleed. We all have the same thing inside of us. This in our physiology. You know what I mean? It's the outside might look a little different than skin tone. It's the features. But so what?
Right.
It really is tough to be, a black man in 2020 and still have to be facing, and we're still talking about this. Still talking about how,
still talking about things that,
and people are
just on a different type of scale because of the technology we have.
Yeah, and it's getting worse right now, and I'm not saying this just solely because of the current administration, but it's just the way that things are going in that way, with a lot of this pandering to the Southern Bible Belt community, which have always kind of been a little behind the curve and
right. Behind the curve is exactly proper term, because I just left down there. I was down, I went home for I was with that Bayou Classic. I was there late November. And you talk about behind the curve. Oh my God. Like it's not even like it's they so far behind, it's almost emotional. Like you're like, you can't, it's just sad. Like you can't even believe it. Like it's just like, it's unbelievable, man. It's just unbelievable. I just couldn't even, I'm just like, thank God I'm not even, I wasn't like raised and like live here. But it's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable how far they are back, and also like how brainwashed a lot of them are, and how when something that happens to them that's wrong, but it's their right, they don't even fight for it because they're just that brainwashed. And to sum it all up, we're talking 2020. You know what I mean? 2020, and for us out here, if something happens to us that's that violates our civil rights, we're gonna fight for it. We're gonna speak up. They don't do that. They don't. They're just that far behind the curve.
Now, how big of a culture shock? I mean, like I said, we met in third grade. So from kindergarten to second grade, I was in South Central LA, predominantly black and Hispanic community, and I go to in third grade to Lawndale, California, and it's predominantly white. And it was a complete culture shock. Complete. How big of it? I mean, because I still remember that to this day. Like I remember my because you were there for a couple years and then you left. And then, but I remember Tony Waits. Shout out to Tony Waits.
Tony Waits, my dude.
Tony Waits.
Where you at, man? I got 20 kids. I seen that fool not too long ago.
Man, shout out to Tony Waits, man, because he was that was my dude, man, and he was our friend, and he didn't see color. His parents didn't see color. And
a lot of kids didn't see color at that age. But once you got to junior high and high school, things change. Because I remember seeing my friends in junior high and high school, and it was a different vibe. It was a different dynamic. Yeah. And I was just like, was like, man, this guy, we was in a sandbox together. We watched wrestling. But now we're like in 7th and 8th grade, and now people are concerned about image. and how they're viewed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And now people are like, they have a different vibe, and it's sad, man. It's sad. We can't be friends with when we were kids. It's just like,
You can.
people when they
You just gotta. You just have to be stronger, and you have to be stronger to break those social ties. And a lot of people are afraid of being ostracized. And and that was one of the things, man. When I was, you and I didn't go to the same high school. We didn't even go to the same junior high. But because you ended up moving, I think that was when you moved to Inglewood at the time. But
yeah,
yeah, we still would hang out and chill like on every weekends or whatever. But it was still a different vibe. You know what I mean? And and especially in high school, because you really start to form who you are and your identity of what you're about.
And you start to disassociate with certain people that you associated with in elementary school.
And that, but it wasn't for anything other than people being closed minded. You know what I mean? And the thing is, like, I roll with people. I'm day one. I'm loyal. I got your back. You got mine. I got yours, and we rolling. We brothers, and let's do that. Right. And I remember I met No Shame, who's in the chat with us, chilling and dropping the audio and sweet pictures and hitting and dissing me. Come on, man, with the Beetlejuice for real. Come on, dog. But we in high school we decided that we were gonna be just us, and we weren't going to just we were gonna bunk the social norms. You didn't have to be what they wanted you to be, and we became our own, and we decided to be our own, and that's where the Ox came from. So that's why the Ox is still going strong all these years later, because we are who we are, and we stand strong for what we believe in, and we always keep an open mind, and we always are able to evolve and move forward, because it's about progress. It's about moving things forward. It's about being positive. You know what I mean? So that's the thing, and a lot of people aren't taught that, especially when you are depending on, people that just like in the Bible Belt, they don't know. They just think about, oh, this is how it's been, this is how it's going to be, this is how it should be. And right. You don't, there's no room for a new thought or a new process. It's just like, no, this is just how it's going to be. This is how my grandfather did it. This is how, you know what I mean? A lot of, and they hide it under the guise of tradition. And, you can create a new tradition. You can create new things, and you can evolve them, and you can expand, and you can do, and that's the whole thing about life, is that you could do these things. You don't have to be bound, and people are so bound to these constraints, and they hold on to this stuff that's in this world, and it's just like, that stuff could be gone tomorrow. And when you see what happens, it's gone tomorrow. We've been stuck in our houses, not able to do anything for a month now, almost a month and going on a month and a half.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, you have to understand, you got to evolve, and you got to change, and you got to move with the times, and you got to stay open. Like, this will pass, and you'll get better for it. But oh boy, it really is tough when you deal with people that don't have open minds and don't see, or can't see the bigger picture.
Yeah, and the next step, I feel like the next step is the vaccine, and they pushing people, towards being really comfortable with taking that vaccine, and you got people that, I can't wait, and you got people that's like, that'll never happen, because they already got video footage online of being microchipped and taking the vaccine. They even have a vending machine overseas that you stick your arm in and it microchips you.
Oh, that's just like idiocracy. This shit is happening for real.
Right.
Idiocracy is happening for real.
Like, everybody should be afraid, because everybody knows this whole story, how it's going to end. Like now it's actually coming to light. You know what I mean? Like and people are like second guessing it. Like, what's there to second guess? Like, they've been telling you this. If you've been paying attention, they've been telling you this for years.
I mean,
they letting Bill Gates run the show like he ain't even a doctor. He's not even a doctor. They're letting this wrinkled nigga tell us the goddamn medical advice. Are you serious right now? You're not a medical doctor. You started Microsoft in your garage. Like, what are you talking about? You're not about to give me medical advice and tell me what I got to stick in my arm.
Man, it's crazy where we come from, and like all the advances, but still that you still have some of that old school mentality and philosophy. It's like the Flintstones and the Jetsons combined. It's really weird,
Man.
You know what I mean? Like the Jetsons with the Flintstones or whatever that cartoon was. It was like, oh, this is all kind of we got cars that drive by themselves, but we still got people saying nigger, and it's like,
you can say nigger, but you can't say fag.
And it's just like what happened?
It's crazy, man. That's the time they want you to get comfortable with this, but not with that. It's all, I feel like it's all like part of their plan. I don't know.
I mean, seriously, dude. I mean, and you know what? I like, okay, so we can continue to move forward, and I think with those type of topics, I definitely want to talk on them and talk about them, and I think that's what we're going to do over this next few episodes. What we're going to do, but I want to stop here because
right.
You know what I mean? Because I think that we want to give, at least I do, and I know you do too. You want to kind of have a little bit more and come in with some really poignant points. Yeah, exactly. And be able to really hit some things, because the whole concept behind the show is just two real, just real dudes talking. You know what I mean?
Right.
Real people talking, not excluding any females, but just real people talking. It's just us primarily, and we got No Shame here in the booth chiming in with his comments and his drop. So, and we doing
a great job too.
Doing a great job keeping it lively and keeping it fun. So, hopefully he could be there for the next show, and maybe even chime in with his voice. But what we're gonna do with Always Into Something is just kind of hit you with some things, hopefully make you think and make you laugh as well. That's just going to give you something to think about,
Oh yeah.
So that's the thing. So from beautiful Henderson, beautiful, opulent, gorgeous Henderson, and me in the
Is he getting paid for this?
in the Leo Pope Studios.
Leo.
That's right.
Rest in peace, Leo.
Uncle Leo, rest in peace. We are we're going to be doing our thing, and hopefully you will hear from us soon. And if you like us, we're going to be available on all the podcast, sites soon. Also, cheap plug. Check out 72 Dreams Recordings artist Alex Boddicker. He got his new album, The Deal Breakers, out. Check that out.
Check that out.
And we got
always into something.
Yeah, and always into something. And we gonna have some other stuff coming for you. We're gonna have some. Hopefully, we have a lot of stuff. 72 Entertainment Group, 72entgroup.com. Check that out for further listings for all the future stuff that's going to be going on. We're gonna try to get that going too. But anyway, man, Ahmad, we'll do it next time, man. You guys, No Shame. Hopefully, we'll have you on next time. Until then, the marathon continues, man.
Y'all be good. Be easy.